you will be able to share it with some of your colleagues that might be interested by the STEM Professional Go Back to School initiative and want to know more about how to participate. So this is a quick overview of the different elements we are going to talk about today during our webinar. So I'm going to first give an introduction about the STEM Alliance project and the Professional Go Back to School program. Then my colleague from CSR Europe, Yvette Swearinga, will present the Professional Go Back to School booklet that we developed for companies, so how to organize a visit in a school, steps to keep in mind before, during, and after the visit. Then my colleague Viola Pinzi will present the Professional Go Back to School online tool that we developed. She will give you a guided tour of the online tool and will explain you how to get in touch with teachers. And then my colleague Giacomo Gallardini will talk about the communication material we developed for this program and how to spread the word about this initiative in your networks and to your colleagues. And finally, my colleague Theodora Johan will speak about an online course that we have at the moment about STEM career. And we will finish at 1:30. So the demand for STEM professional and associated professional is expected to grow by around 8% between now and 2025. This means that Europe needs more young people to pursue STEM subjects and careers, and this is necessary to make sure that we can form the much needed qualified workforce in the coming years. So we need motivated, properly trained and well-equipped STEM teachers to prepare and inspire Europe's next generation of researchers and industry professionals. And the STEM Alliance is tackling those fundamental societal challenges through the support of industry partners and ministries of education across Europe. So the STEM Alliance is building on the Ingenious project. So it's a project that ran from 2011 to 2014 and has the aim to promote STEM, innovative STEM education practices, STEM careers, promotion of STEM jobs in all industry sectors. And the main objective is to form a STEM skilled workforce for Europe and beyond, actually. So you can see on this slide the 13 companies that are partner in the STEM Alliance and supporting us for these activities. And so basically, these partners are coordinated by two European networks, European SchoolNet, which is a network of ministries of education, and CSR Europe, which is a business network of corporate social responsibilities. And all these partners have decided to join forces to support and promote existing industry education STEM collaboration and to develop new ways to teach STEM. Since its launch, STEM Alliance has reached more than 10,000 pupils and hundreds of teachers, as well as companies from all over Europe and beyond. And this has been done through a variety of activities that bring industry and education closer together. We organize the work around three main pillars of activity. One of the pillars is scaling up through knowledge building and collaboration. So we develop reports and we do research activity on STEM, innovative STEM education and STEM careers. And we also propose a catalog of reports, research papers, and publication that you can find on the STEM Alliance portal. So another pillar is the support to teachers and industry, and the STEM Professional Go Back to School is part of this second pillar. And finally, we organize communication and outreach through European-wide campaigns. And one of the main campaigns is coming up really soon. It's the STEM Discover Week, which will run from 24th to 30th of April, so the last week of April. So now that I have introduced the STEM Alliance project, I would like to talk about one of our major initiatives. It's the STEM Professional Go Back to School that was recently launched. So what is the STEM Professional Go Back to School? So before explaining you what it is, I would like to inform you about a news that we learned really recently, which is the fact that the European Commissioner Tibor Navracic is supporting the initiative. So the STEM Professional Go Back to School initiative is under the patronage of Tibor Navracic, member of the European Commission. So what is this program? The initiative facilitates the matching of schools and companies through an online tool. And we provide to both schools and company information package and some preparation material. And then the STEM professional go to the school for a short visit, can be from 1 hour to half a day or more, to talk to students and teachers about their careers. So one of the moments that we invite professionals to go to schools is the STEM Discover Week, but it's important to mention that this initiative is an ongoing initiative and that the tool and all material are permanently available on the portal, so you can really decide together with the teacher which is the best moment to organize your visits. So what are the advantages and why should you engage in this activity? Because it gives you the opportunity to get connected to schools and teachers on the ground to go in a school. It's inspire for your company, it's inspire your own STEM employees and give them opportunity to share their passion for STEM. You can have a direct impact on young people, and it's quite a low investment from your side, but it has a big impact. All the information related to STEM Professional Go Back to School is available on the STEM Alliance portal. So it's www.stemalliance.eu/PGBS, and PGBS stands for Professional Go Back to School. If you go to this page, you will find the different services and material that we provide to support both schools and company, and you can see that each material and resources has two versions, one for the school and one for the company. So I invite you to look at the resources that we provide for company. So we have an information brochure to introduce the scheme. We have a booklet that Yvette Swenger from CSI Europe will present that really explain you how to organize this, what you should keep in mind, and really some tips on how to prepare your presentation and your collaboration with the school. And then we have a number of communication material that can be used to promote this through your internal dissemination channel in your company and in your network in general. So I'm going to ask Yvette now to present you the booklet. So you can unmute yourself. Yes, thank you, Yvette.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for having us here. So I will tell you a bit more about the booklet that we have developed, which is really a practical guide for how to organize your visit to a school. So the first thing you need to know is that, as Maite already explained, that we have two parts of this booklet. So one is developed for schools and one is developed for companies. And the one I'm talking about now is the one for companies. And they are, of course, linked to each other. So whatever we have in here is also reflected in the one for the teachers. So we basically developed 5 simple steps that you need to take into account when you prepare yourself for a visit to a school. And the whole idea of this STEM Professionals Go Back to School is that as a STEM professional, you go to a classroom of young people and you explain about your motivations, your job, your career in an interactive and fun way. So we developed 5 steps. The first one is preparation. So what do you need to think about before going to the school? Then we have a step on aligning your expectations with the school. Finally, we have the third one, which is to prepare your actual presentation and how to get yourself ready to go. Then going actually back to the school and what you need to know and prepare for. And then what you do after the event. So I will take you through each of these 5 steps. And of course, in the booklet, there is a bit more information and a bit more detail and some examples that you can use to prepare yourself even better. But the first step is the preparation. So we think it's first of all very important that from the company side as well as from the school side, you need to identify a contact person. So once you have registered on the online tool that will be presented afterwards, you will be matched with a school, and the teacher and you as a company representative can talk to each other to make agreements on how to go about this visit and who will be involved. Now, for the communications part, it's very important that you have both a steady contact person that will liaise with the necessary people within the company and with the school. And this person can either be the STEM professional directly, or it can be, for example, an HR manager that is taking the responsibility to mobilize the right people within the organization and make sure that all the right messages come across. Now, if you pick an HR manager that is responsible, or an education team manager, or any related subject within the company, you can choose. It's important to think about who you choose as the person to go back to school. Now, what is very important with this kind of visits, and in order to inspire young people to go for STEM, is that the children need to be able to relate to you as a STEM professional. So how we would suggest to either have a person going to school that is an expert or knows what he's talking about, but also that is relatable to the students, meaning that either you are quite young still, and then you can still quite relate well to the students at school, or you are maybe a parent and you have kids that are going through the same phase, or you are generally very passionate and you feel that you can set the right tone with the children. It's also important to be a good communicator, because especially with children, their attention span may not be the same as when you talk to other companies or professionals. So it's important that you know how to talk and set the right tone. And of course, a teacher should help you with it. Now, another thing that you can have a look at is the Get Inspired section in the document, and as well as on the website. There are some good practices where you can have a look at how you can organize this visit. Once you've found the right person to go and you have the contact person, you're in touch with the school, it's important to decide on the objectives. And this you do together with the teacher. So what is the kind of topic you want to talk about? What do you want to consider for your presentation? And then, of course, there are some practical things that you need to talk about. Think about, like, video. If you want to take pictures, then with children you need a consent form. And of course, how you can reach out to social media that you're going, so to bring a bit of communication around this. The second step is quite linked to the preparation, but we wanted to highlight this specifically because it's very important that you have good alignment with the school and the teachers on what the expectations are. First of all, you need to understand who your audience is. Are they children of secondary school or primary school? What are the ages? And very important also to see what is the link to their current curriculum. So if you are a professional in ICT and you know that the school is just learning how to code, then you can link the two. You can talk about something linked to that topic. You can make it really a real life experience of what they are learning at that moment in school. And if you manage to do this, then you can have a very good alignment and stronger impact on the children, because they see the use and the relevance of what you are doing and what they are learning. So also for talking to the school, it's very important to agree on the timeline and the logistics, and very crucial is to talk very good with the teacher. So we suggest to have like a call or even a meeting if possible, at least 2 weeks in advance of your visit, so that you can have a good discussion on what is necessary to take into account and how they can support you. Because the teacher also knows best how the children are and what they are interested in, so let the teacher help you. I think it's very important that what to keep in mind is that you, as a person, you need to keep in mind that as a company person, you are responsible for delivering something that is of value to the children, and you're not going there to represent your business necessarily. So you're not supposed to go there for commercial reasons, but really to support the children. And the teachers are very important to help you in developing the right kind of presentation, etc. Then the third part of this booklet will help you to prepare your presentation. So it contains practical examples on what kind of questions you can expect, how to tailor the message to your audience, and again, what I just mentioned, to find a link between their subjects that they're doing in school and what you are doing in daily life. And what we advise is to keep your presentation quite short, so maybe 10 to 15, maybe max 20 minutes, and that you then have an interactive session with the children, because we know that when you are interacting, it helps you very much with getting the interest of the young people, and they like to explore and experience. So it's always better to let them ask questions or let them do a little exercise rather than just talking for an hour, because they will lose interest. Yeah, unless you have very good skills and you're able to deal with the children, but generally their attention span is lower than professionals, so it's important to keep that in mind. In this booklet you will find also some examples that you can support and a proposed agenda for this meeting. We would suggest to have a meeting maybe 2 hours max, so that you really have some time to settle in, to give a presentation and to engage with the children in a practical activity, but keeping it, within a reasonable short time to discuss what you need to discuss, but also keep their attention. Then finally, when you actually go back to school, it is very important to, again, think about the logistics. If you have questions, it can be even something as simple as, can I park my car, or how do I get to the school, or it's important to align this again with the teacher, and this is the responsibility of the contact person from your company as well as the contact person from the school. So they need to be in charge of this. Then again, remember that your students, the ones that you're talking to, are quite young, are not on the same level, so you also have to adjust the way you speak, the way you present, and the kind of words that you use. But they are inquisitive and they can ask sometimes very deep questions, so yeah, don't underestimate them, but also don't overestimate their abilities. And once again, think about the teacher to help you with setting the scene and helping you understand their level. Now, finally, it's very important that when you go there, you are going to be a role model for them. So you will influence their behavior, and it's important to also behave appropriately. So the booklet also includes some practical details on what you should and should not do as a role model. There are some very obvious things like, don't go and smoke or drink in front of the children, and don't use swear words, or keep appropriate behavior for your audience, but also the positive way, like be passionate about what you do and represent it. And of course, the whole idea of these visits is that you can inspire the young people. So also take into account that you don't use too much of gender bias. So if you are an engineer and maybe you are working with mostly men, but also don't only talk about it as if it's a male profession or you have male expectations, because many girls can be put off. So it's important to keep this in mind as well, that not every child thinks the same about how you present something. And of course, we see that there is definitely a lack of young women in STEM, so we especially want to encourage those girls to also become inspired. So keep that in mind. What always helps is when you talk about it in terms of the impact that you have. So if you're an engineer, you can say, I solve problems, I find solutions for things that are not working, and talk also about the sort of the purpose or the value that you see in your work. That's always very important to bring the message home to the children. And then finally, once you have had a good experience, you went to the school, you've had your presentation, and you go back home. But then it's very important that you actually have a sort of evaluation afterwards, so that you can see what went well, what didn't went well, and how you could improve for next time. And this kind of evaluation will help both the school and yourself to see if you want to do it again, or if you want to do it in a different format. So to understand everybody's perspective, from the teacher, from the company, and also from the students. So in the guideline for teachers, we also we will give them a feedback form to gather the impressions from students. And it's also quite rewarding for yourself to hear these kind of feedbacks, and to bring that also back to the organization, and to explain to your colleagues what you have done and how students perceived it. But we definitely also encourage to have a debrief call with the teacher or the responsible person in the school, so that you can really explain how you feel that it went, and also what the things that didn't go well, because maybe there were things missing, or there were things not so clear, or points for improvement, and this will really help. And of course, we want this to be something that inspires, and if you like it, and the teacher likes it, and the students like it, we also encourage you to keep on doing it, and to continue to go back to school, and to find, or to maybe even encourage more colleagues to be involved in this as well. So also on the tool, the online tool that Viola will be presenting soon, you can also fill in the activities that you've done and the experiences that you have, and we also encourage you to keep on doing it and to keep on using it. So this is just a very brief overview of what you can expect from the booklet. It's quite a short document. If I'm correct, it's 10 pages. It's quite visual, and there are also some checklists in the end of the booklet, so that you can make sure that you have all the right things, and that you don't forget some important. So it's very practical, and it will really help you to prepare and not forget some important steps before you go to school. That's all that I have to share with you. I just hope that you will make use of it. And of course, if you have recommendations for us within the STEM Alliance to improve this booklet, because after you've gone, maybe you see, well, this was missing from the booklet, then please also let us know, because we would be happy to take your comments into account and improve our work further as well. So now I will give the floor back to Viola, and she will present you the tool so you can have a better understanding how that works. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yvette. Hello, everybody. My name is Viola Pinzi, and I am the portal administrator for the STEM Alliance project. As mentioned by Maite and Yvette, the initiative is supported by us through a tool, a database of schools and teachers and professionals to help matching schools and companies to organize activities. To access the tool, the first step is to create an account on the STEM Alliance portal. Through the portal, through the page of the campaign, or through the sign-in page, you can reach a registration form to create your account, filling in the information you can see in this form: username, first name, family name, email, and password. Once your account is created, you receive an email confirming your OpenID, your credential to access the portal. After the first login, you will be asked also to fill in your STEM Alliance profile from this tab. The first step is to add an organization in the tab My Organization. To add your organization, you can select a country, usually the country or your main offices. And once the country is selected, you will be shown a list of organizations already registered in our portal for that country. In case your organization is not yet in our database, you can also add it, filling in the form that you can see in the slide. There are a few mandatory fields, such as official institutional name, type, address, town, and country and region. It would be very useful for us, although, to have other information also, such as the website. After adding organization, the last step on the STEM Alliance portal profile is to add your role, the role you have within your organization, and a set of subjects related to your work or content of your work. Once you have filled in the STEM Alliance profile, you can access the Back to School activity tool. To show you the tool, I will go live. Everybody again, I hope you can hear me now. So we can start from the link with the tool. As we mentioned before, once you have created your STEM Alliance profile, you'll be asked to fill in the profile. And once the profile is filled in with organization, role, and subject, you can access the tool. The first time you access the tool, you will be asked also to fill in your Back to School activity profile information. You can see it here on the first screen, on the first tab called Profile, on the right column. This information is the information related to the initiative, and so to the activities you wish to participate in or you wish to organize. The role could be company representatives in your case, or school staff. Then you can enter your department, country, and cities you are available for. It may be more than one. The 10 topics you wish to work with, and availability period. And in case, also indicate the length of the activity you are available for. The first time you are asked to enter this information, save your profile, and you receive a confirmation that your profile was filled in correctly. After that, we will need to approve the request, and you receive a second confirmation email. The request was approved. Once your account on the tool is approved, you can use all the features. In the Search tab, you can access the database of schools and teachers available for activities. To look for a school, you can either search directly, and in this case you will have displayed all the results in the database for all schools. You can also use the filters, a free text filter, for example, entering a city or already a name of a school, so if you have one in mind, or keywords for topics and descriptions. You can enter a country, a list of STEM topics, type of activity, and also filter by the age of the students, so the grade or the classes, and by the availability period. The list of results is shown below the search form, as in this case. You can see in the list the name, the organization, the topics, the status, and the actions tab. In this case, you have a first school, a first teacher, Emma, with whom you never had any previous interaction within the tool. And in this case, you could send a request if you are interested in getting in contact. To have a few more information on our request or profile, you can also display the information here. To send a request, just clicking on Send Request, you access this pop-up form. And to send the first request, we also suggest you to enter a customized message for the school, for the teacher. For example, explaining further the expectation for the activity, the objectives, or idea or previous experience you may have already for the activity. The Search tab also shows all the other schools, like Ollie, Pedro, Craig, teachers, with whom you already had some interaction previously. For example, with Emma Boury, you had probably sent a request and is still pending. A request from Holly was accepted. A request sent or again sent by the school is also waiting for acceptance in the case of Pedro Rodriguez, and in the last case you can see a request who was declined. A further feature offered by this tab is the possibility to invite directly a school or a professional, a colleague, or from another company too, to join the initiative and to register in the tool. To do so, you can click on the Invite button and enter the first name, last name, email, and the person will receive a standard invitation from STEM Alliance with some information on the project or the Back to School initiative and all the guide to join and to register. Once you have interacted with other users in the tool, in this case with some teachers or school staff, you can manage these requests, you can manage these actions, interaction through the tab My Activities. The tab My Activities will display the list of teachers, in this case, or school staff you had contacted, and also the activities that you are organized or you organize with them. Similarly to the Search tab list, as you can see here, we have the first contact with Craig, but the request in this case was declined, so there was no further action possible. In the case of Pedro, you had a request from them, so the request status is new and is waiting for your acceptance in case. So you have here the possibility to accept or decline information, of course, after visualizing the request and the suggestion. In this case, we have for Emma Boury a request that was sent, and so it's still pending, waiting for her acceptance. And you can also visualize your request to them. And finally, you have an accepted match, so an accepted request from Ollie. In this case, it is also possible already to start organizing activities. Clicking on List Activities, you can see all the activities that are already planned or ongoing. Here you have 3 examples. For the list of activities, you have here a summary with title, city, the period, and the status, and some actions. If you wish to see the detail of the activity you are organizing with the school, or the school is organizing, you can click on View Details. And from this tab, you can also edit some information, clicking on Edit Activity, and save again. Is it possible to edit the activities anytime before the final date? Once the activity is carried out, we invite you to close the activity from the tool using this feature. Finally, in case an activity which was planned was not carried out, you can also delete the activity. To create a new activity at any time for a school, you can click on Create a New Activity and enter all the fields with an asterisk and save. An important feature of the Activity tab is also that anytime you create an activity, you close an activity, so you inform us the activity was carried out successfully, or you delete an activity. These steps also update the public map of the STEM Initiative campaign, which is visible for the users and for the guests of the website, and promotes all the activity carried out within the initiative. Finally, the Help tab is the guide to use the tool that is available and browsable at any time while you're using the tool. In case you encounter any difficulties using the tool, you can send an email to us, STEMalliance@un.org, for assistance. And if you already have a few questions or difficulties you may have encountered in logging in the first time, we have also a question and answer session at the end of the webinar. And now I will pass the floor back to my colleagues. Thank you very much for your attention.
So many thanks, Viola. We are just waiting that the presentation is coming back on our screen, and now we are ready to have the presentation on the STEM professional go back to school communication material, and I will ask my colleague Giacomo to present that to you.
Thank you very much, Maite. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Giacomo Gallardini, and I'm in charge of the communication for the STEM Professionals Go Back to School and the STEM Alliance communication. So I'm going to explain you in the next 5 minutes some tips on how to better disseminate your participation to the professional Go Back to School, not only your personal communication participation, but also the one of your company. So for start, either you're a company professional volunteer or you work in PR and communications for your company or any other related position you can have in the industry, it's really important to make your commitment for volunteering visible. The societal impact that volunteering for STEM skills gap and digital skills in general education provides, it's really exemplary, and therefore it should be given visibility and space. So it's really important to involve your colleagues, your peers, and other companies that are interested in social responsibility and improvement. So first of all, I would like to show you how to retrieve the informative brochure about the scheme that Maite already mentioned before, which represent the first step to get to know more about the program, and it's really ideal for the communication purpose. So from the Professional Go Back to School page, you can go to brochure and check the icon and click on the icon, check the information brochure, and you will be able to retrieve the brochure, which has an initial explanation about the program and is able to explain specifically as a first step, as an introduction to the program, the features that the Professional Go Back to School can give. It's an interactive brochure, so it can also be disseminated as an attachment per email, and if you click on it in the different kind of chapters, you can directly access to the booklet, to the tool, or to the promotional campaign material respectively. So it's ideal for email attachment. It's interactive, but it's also printable. So if you need to have it for any meetings or any kind of event that is related to peer dissemination, do not hesitate to print it. We also made available other communication material, and speaking about communication channels in general, we have some promotional material about the campaign on our website, still on the same landing page of the Professional Go Back to School. There is an icon for companies. It's download the communication material. By clicking on that icon, you will have access to all the communication material that we prepare for the Professional Go Back to School. The social media campaign, as you can see in the slide, is hashtag PGB2S, and by clicking on that icon, you will have access to the banners that are made available. On the page you can find the official banners. You can include them in your website and in your email, for example, or in your company blogs or website. And moreover, as for Twitter and for Facebook and social media in general, we have prepared some posts and tweets to disseminate, which are easy to use because you can directly copy paste them in your Twitter tweets or Facebook posts, so that you can modify them and adjust them accordingly to your needs, so they can be easily personalized. And additionally, you can also download the one-pager, which contains more specific information regarding the communication practice and how to spread the word about the program. The one-pagers are located in the same page, the communication material page on the Professional Go Back to School website. Last but not least, moreover, you can use the Facebook and Twitter ready-made posts also on LinkedIn, which is really ideal for peer dissemination in order to retrieve colleagues from the professional or the industry sector. So do not hesitate to copy, paste, and use the same Facebook post also on your LinkedIn groups and network. To finish, we also made available some examples of good practice from our partners. These examples represent some good ideas on successful practice and how to bridge the gap between schools and company, as good example of STEM professionals going back to school for pedagogical activities. We have, for example, 2 videos from CA Technologies, from Deploy Your Talent, Italy and Germany, which was an initiative from 2016 that is being carried on, which has reached more than 250 secondary school students, and is part of, as I said, CA Technology, Corporate Social Responsibility Program, and aims to inspire youngsters to consider future careers in science by bringing exactly people in the sector back in selected school. We have also a nice event from Germany, from INEOS Köln, so INEOS Cologne, that has this program called TUVAS, which means literally do something, that was launched in 2008 by INEOS, which is part of the European Petrochemical Association, a partner of STEM Alliance. The aim of the program was to foster children's natural curiosity and interest in natural science and STEM-related subjects. So this is a nice and short illustrative video of what can be achieved by volunteering. And then we also have IBM blogs and personal stories from examples of IBMers whose volunteer effort are improving communities around the world. So to conclude, if you know any existence activity that you or your company is already doing in this direction, please do not hesitate to ask us by writing to stemalliance@eon.org. The same goes for any request for additional communication material or support. Please as well do not hesitate to write us at stemalliance@eon.org. Thank you very much for your attention. I'll give back the mic to Maite.
Many thanks, Giacomo. So I will now ask my colleague Theodora to talk about the online course that we have running at the moment.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Maite. So
the sound is really low, Theo. I don't know if you can.
Is it a bit better now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm really hugging the microphone now. Okay, so I will briefly present to you the Opening Minds to STEM Careers MOOC. This is an initiative of the STEM Alliance with 2 other projects. The MOOC is free, it's online, and its purpose is to introduce and encourage, its purpose is to train teachers, so primary and secondary STEM teachers, to learn how to introduce and encourage students to pursue STEM careers. As you can see here, the MOOC has started on the 3rd of April, so we are now halfway through the course. The course is having quite a lot of success. We have more than 2,300 participants registered. The tool that you have seen here and the campaign that my colleagues have talked about, it's also being promoted on the course. So we expect a lot of teachers to also pick it up from there and start using the tool. Now this course is hosted on the European SchoolNet Academy. It's a platform that we have developed for hosting MOOCs. The course will last for 9 weeks, but participants also have the ability to finish in 5 weeks. So they can finish quicker or faster, and they also get certification, digital badges, and a course certificate. And for free regions in Spain, they also receive an official certificate from their Ministry of Education. So you can also attend as well if you want to know more about what teachers are learning about in regards to how to present STEM careers, how to work with parents to encourage students in these careers, how to organize career events in STEM, how to train soft skills and STEM skills in their classroom and so on. So you're more than welcome to join. Here are the links. So this will take you to the landing page of the course, or you can just go to the European SchoolNet Academy and browse the course catalog to find it. If you have any questions about the course, we also host live webinars in case you would be interested to participate as a speaker. You can, or for absolutely any other details about this, you can write to me directly. My email is right there at the bottom of the page, and I'm happy to provide you with more details. So that was it from me. And I think now, Maite, it's the Q&A, but yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, I just have one more information to provide, and then we can have some time for question and answer. Thank you very much, Theodora. So I just wanted to mention important information is that we have the STEM Discover Week that will run on the last week of April. So this this week is happening every year on the last week of April and has the objective to celebrate innovative STEM education initiatives, and in the context of the STEM Alliance, more particularly the collaboration between the private sector and education to improve the way STEM education is taught and to promote STEM career and STEM jobs. So the STEM Discovery Week campaign is organized jointly by 3 science education projects, so Scientix, Systemic, and the STEM Alliance. So if you have any initiative, STEM education initiative that you want to promote, we invite you to use this week and the hashtag we have prepared, so it's hashtag STEM Discovery Week basically, to make a bit fuzz about your initiatives, and we will continue promoting widely the STEM professional go back to school at this occasion as well. And I wanted to quickly mention also that the teachers that are organizing a visit from a STEM professional in the school, they can participate to a competition and get a chance to be invited to a science project workshop that we organize in Brussels in European SchoolNet premises in our future classroom lab. So this is an additional incentive for teachers to participate. So many thanks for your attention. I'm going now to see if there are any questions from our participants. So you can either use the chat option, or I think my colleague can also give you the right to talk, giving you allowing you to use your microphone as well. Otherwise, maybe it means that everything was very clear, and my colleagues and myself, we managed to present you with the STEM Professional Go Back initiative very clearly. So I would like to remind you that we will upload the recording of this webinar as well as the presentation that we used on the STEM Alliance portal. And we will also send you a follow-up email so we can have your feedback about this session, and we can keep you informed about the upcoming activity of the STEM Alliance. So I would like to thank all the speakers of today, my colleague Giacomo, Teodora, and Viola, as well as Isvet Srenga for CSR Europe. So CSR Europe is jointly coordinating this initiative with us. So many thanks to everybody, and I wish you a good afternoon.